I am here at one of the largest RV shows in the world in Dusseldorf, Germany. And we are taking a look at this Bimobile EX 462 that is certainly a attention grabber. Right when you walk by, this motorhome is a beast and it is unlike anything that we see in the United States. So curious what you guys think. Let's go take a look, come on. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Myles with Firmly Unbound, and we are here taking a look at this Bimobile EX 462. A really impressive motorhome sitting way up high off the ground on these Michelin all-terrain tires. This thing is an absolute beast, and everything here from Bimobile, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, is pretty cool, pretty impressive, lots of different colors here, and really good quality. So if we're able to find it, you'll be able to see the floor plan layout and the specs on the screen. But you can also see here all of the different motorhomes that they make. So lots of different options here, and they are just really cool, really fun to look at. This one is on the Iveco chassis. My first time actually even seeing that chassis before in my life. So definitely some new things for me here taking a look at. And if you're new here, this is kind of how my channel goes. I've been filming RVs for over 7 years now, and I filmed over 1,000 videos here on YouTube of RVs. But this is my first time ever coming somewhere outside of the United States to look at RVs, and things are a little bit different. There's definitely different equipment, different building characteristics, different design concepts than anything that we see in the United States. So some of this is all new, just like learning for me. So if you are part of the European audience, the German audience watching this, appreciate you being here. I have a ton of videos coming from this event, so make sure you're subscribed to see all that it is to come. And if there's something that I misspeak on, or if I just talk incorrectly about anything, just know I'm doing my absolute best to try not to do that. But if there is something that you know about this motorhome that I don't, definitely let me know down below in the comments and add that information for the viewers down below watching, because it is really helpful. And before we get too deep into this video, just want to give you the chance, if you want to check it out, to know that down below in the pinned comment and description of this video, I have a link to my other YouTube channel called Firmly Unbound. Now on Firmly Unbound, there's a lot of things that we show and talk about in video content on that channel, but most recently has been a lot of stuff with me traveling with my own personal RV, or here in Europe, they might call it a caravan. It's a trailer, a travel trailer that I tow with my truck and travel all across the United States with that thing already. In just the last year, I have videos of every trip that I've went on just about with that camper. Lots of fun things there. So that YouTube channel is pinned down below in the pinned comment and in the description that you can check out if you want to see some of the stuff that I do with my own personal RV. So go check that out if you're feeling curious. Pretty dang insane and robust mechanism back here for the spare tire. Looks like it has a whole lift system to drop that down when needed. And then as we come around the side here, we have, actually we'll come back outside, but I do want to point out the absolutely massive Michelin tires. So they are a 14.00 R20 tire, absolutely huge. And then as we step inside here, the design is just really popping when you walk in. I mean, you see you have really light wood colors in here. Yellow and blue is kind of the overall color concept in here with the yellow curtains. Another amazing aspect to this motorhome is these huge doors that open up. So you have a window in this door, and then that whole door flies open, which really opens up this space. That is really nice. I don't see like a bug screen or anything on this door, so that's the only thing that it doesn't have. Although if that's something you wanted, I'm sure there's a way that you can figure out or configure a way to be able to have some sort of bug screen here. Now it does have the curtains here, reading lights up in the corner if someone's sitting at this dining area or maybe sleeping in this space, because this will also have the ability to drop down. You can see there's this platform here that allows this to drop down and use cushions to fill this in and make it into a bed. Another really fun, cool aspect of these motorhomes is you do actually have access to the driver's cab through this area. Now you can see the insane quality here on even like this door, just going to and from the cab. Look at how nice everything is finished out through there. And then as we go through here, you can see in your driver's cab, pretty dang cool. And you have a bed in here. So this whole area is like a single person bed for someone to sleep as well. So really, really neat having that quick, easy access into the driver's cab from the motorhome. I guess you maybe shouldn't say easy because you're gonna have to crawl through there, but you do have a way to get into that space nonetheless, which is nice and convenient. As we turn back around this way, we have some storage up over your dining table area. We also have a vent fan here in the kitchen. Has a nice solid surface countertop material, so non-porous. I don't know if this is like a ceramic or Corian. I'm not exactly sure, but it is a solid surface countertop nonetheless. And then we have our refrigerator and freezer down here. It is a Dometic brand refrigerator and freezer. Looks like it might have a lock switch right there. Oh, opens from the other side. That's why. There we go. If you can't tell, this is my first time in this motorhome, so we're taking a look at it for the first time together. So you have that Dometic refrigerator and freezer portion down here. And let's see. There we go. That allows that to latch. Got your Dometic 2-burner cooktop. On your windows here, you are going to have a privacy shade from the bottom, and then it will have a bug screen from the top. So they do that in the proper orientation. There's a lot of US manufacturers that do these style shades on windows, and they do it the opposite way. They do the privacy shade from the top and the bug screen from the bottom. Doesn't make any sense. That is a much more proper orientation. That just makes sense. Got your storage space up through here. These are all solid wood cabinet doors. You can see it's just a light wood color. And then this is like feels like a metal kind of textured cabinet door. So unique look on that too. Ceiling height in here is good. I'm standing at about 6'3" right now with my shoes on. And you can see here, plenty of ceiling height here to work with. So it's probably good for about 6'6", 6'7" in this motorhome. As we keep working our way back, you have some steps going up into your bedding area. So you can see the bed back through this space, kind of a bed designed where you're gonna sleep this way, but still plenty of sleeping space back here nonetheless. Have your curtains back along your windows here for your privacy. Have a little spot here where you have multiple different pockets that you can put items in, and your storage all the way up along the top. Plus a huge skylight in this area. Same thing, it's gonna have the privacy shade and a bug screen on here. So you will be able to use either one of those as needed. And then again, curtains on the windows. And another thing that's worth mentioning too, this little box back here, this is something that basically helps mitigate the climate inside of the RV. So it's something I've been trying to learn more about. I've asked some questions about it, and it's still a concept that doesn't completely make sense to me, because basically air comes in and out of there, and it helps either cool the air or warm the air. And there are vents going to the outside of the motorhome from inside that box. So if you guys know more about that system, definitely please add any information that you know down below in the comments. Also curious what's back here. Mattress is very comfortable, feels like a memory foam style mattress. And then you got this little cubby space back there with some shelving, plus the individual reading lights up in the corners here. So really nice there. I'm curious if there's anything underneath here. I know we had storage under the bed. Oh, they got a Frawley system under here. So this is basically going to keep and prevent any moisture from building up underneath the bed there. Very nice. I'm coming back through this area. Very interesting concept and design on the bathroom. It gives a lot of space when you're taking a shower for a typical bathroom of this size. There's plenty of room in there. You can see where the shower head sits. And in fact, if I step foot in here, my head does have to go up into the skylight. So my head is in the skylight in this one. It is probably about 5'10" or so maybe, where the skylight is not. Again, same thing, privacy shade and bug screen on this skylight there. This shower head, I would have to duck to get underneath it, but that's fine. I still feel like it's comfortable enough for sure. And then a couple interesting little aspects to it. You have your shower curtain right here, but it is kind of like a wet bath area. So you have your huge big mirror across from you there. You have your sink right here. This is like a porcelain or ceramic style sink. And then we got some storage space underneath here. This all is similar construction to, like, kind of makes me think like Airstream, where it is like a plywood shelf right there that has like a material on top for the decorative look, but very strong plywood interior drawer construction, which is kind of similar to what we see in something like Airstream is what first comes to mind inside the United States, where they don't use a lot of Luan. They're using, you know, more of a plywood in places where other RV manufacturers would use like a Luan. While we're looking around the bathroom, wanted to show you guys this real quick. You've probably seen this. This is liquefied. They have it in this pod formula, liquid formula, and powder formula. And you can find this on Amazon as well as at Walmart's and Blue Compass RV dealerships across the United States. This is going to make sure that everything that goes into your toilet decomposes and breaks down properly, keeps your black tank fresh and healthy, keeps your RV smelling fresh. And this is a must-have for any RVer. So you can find that on Amazon as well as Walmart and Blue Compass stores across the United States. Down underneath here, this toilet is going to slide out. So that is how you get access to the toilet. It's going to move out of the way so you can take your shower when needed, and then it slides up into here. You can see even like the plumbing is kind of going to slide forward and back with it as well. So a very interesting design concept there for the bathroom. Pretty dang cool. And like how that toilet goes out of the way to make space for taking a shower. And that's pretty much everything in here. You can see you got all your cabinet space down underneath this area. You got some power inlets there all through this area. And then I don't know if we looked at any of this, but this is going to be all your power controls. Still don't know a whole lot about the power systems on these motorhomes, but I am learning. So I do know that this has something like a secondary alternator in the engine. So basically allowing your diesel engine on this to act as a generator. So it doesn't really need a generator because of that aspect. But from what I understand, these also have all of the solar and inverter equipment necessary to allow you to run this motorhome off of the battery system, assuming that there's enough power coming in from the solar to keep those batteries charged, which that's something that is always a struggle. Even on the sunniest of days, you still might find yourself in a situation where it's really hard to generate enough power from the sun alone if you're trying to run everything on this motorhome. But nonetheless, this does have a system set up where you're supposed to be able to use either your solar battery and inverter setup to power this motorhome. Obviously, you'll have your plug for power coming into the motorhome, and you have the alternator in the diesel engine that are all different power mechanisms for that. Let's come along the outside here. Got a couple things we could talk about. So you got your storage space outside. Really nice look on here. You can see some of the craftsmanship through this area. That looks like that's likely a water filtration system. It says water on it, but that's famous water is the only information I'm getting from that. And then you have your little outdoor shower spot there too. So very nice, very cool how the doors work on this. You can see it's basically the same side materials there. Really, really nice looking seams on the doors that kind of act as your weather guard going into those spots. And then they have a nice strong sturdy latch right there. Come along this way, you do have some towing equipment back here, it looks like. I would imagine they build these with the, you know, possibility for you to be able to hook up a vehicle or something like that. There's your plug going into the motorhome. See how that door opens up there? We have the door into the storage, and then these doors here, I don't know if these are open. Yeah, they're not. That's one of the tougher things about being at a show like this. Sometimes I can only get into so many doors and get access to so many things. But let's see if this door on this side is open. That one is not either, unfortunately, but that's okay. This obviously is a 4x4 truck on here designed to really be able to take you anywhere, go anywhere that you want to go. And very curious your thoughts on what you think about this thing. Let me see if there's any like last minute information you guys might want to know about this motorhome, including the price, and then we'll get y'all out of here. Okay, so a few pieces of information on this. First of all, it's going to have a payload capacity around 12,000 pounds on this motorhome, so it can load a lot of equipment on here for sure. It's a permanent all-wheel drive on this motorhome. It's a 6-cylinder engine, 280 horsepower with an optional 320 horsepower variant available. It also comes with an optional 8-speed automatic transmission. I'm guessing that would mean it's probably a standard 6-speed, I would think. And let's see, we have 106-gallon freshwater capacity, 40-gallon wastewater, and 16-gallon gas tank. So for your propane on there. And then that's pretty much everything. 210 amp hour house battery. It can be optioned with up to 600 amp hours of lithium batteries if you want. So a couple different options there. And then this, everything about this cab and the way this motorhome is designed is definitely built to go off-road. So definitely has those aspects in mind with the build on this motorhome. But very curious your thoughts. The price on this in euros is $499. And actually it looks like 553,905 is likely the MSRP on that. So in US dollars, oh, and also we got some information here. It looks like we have a 60-liter gas tank, which I don't know how many gallons that is. My conversions, I do not have those memorized at all. So let me get those last little pieces of information in US metrics for you, and then we'll let you go. And got a little confused on my information. That was basically saying that there's a 60-liter propane bottle. The diesel fuel on this is going to be likely about a 200-liter tank, which is going to be 52.8 gallons. And then let's see here, there was one other, oh yeah, and then the money aspect. So on the money on this, we are looking at, with the 449 euro or $449,000, or I don't even know how y'all say this in Europe. Is it 449,000 euros? I guess that would be the way to put it. That's going to be somewhere right around like $580,000 or so. So it's in that $550,000 to $600,000 price range. Definitely feels every bit as something that is, kind of built to that level of quality to justify that kind of price. It's just really high end. So curious what you guys think. Let me know down below in the comments. And that's all I got for y'all. Until next time, live firmly on bound.